for my peace of mind, my sanity, and my clarity. This has been nagging at me for a while, and I've brushed it away. But there's so much stuff that has come up, and there's things that, you know, I was exposed to some things, and like, it's just, it's so hard to say stuff without saying stuff.
Guys, have you ever wondered why Kim Porter died so quickly from a short illness? I mean, this is someone who had access to the best medical care money could buy, living right in Los Angeles. Yet, in November 2018, Kim Porter passed away at just 47 years old after suffering from flu-like symptoms for only a few days. To be quite honest, it has never made any sense. Well, guess what? Allegedly, Gina Tew is letting us in on the tea, y'all, and based on what I've heard, Kim may have died so quickly because her immunity was extremely low courtesy of diseases she contracted from Diddy. Yes, the very same HIV Gina said she possibly got from Diddy and his freak-offs that almost took her out. But wait, does this mean that Diddy was just knowingly passing the virus to people? Gosh, this is so messed up. Anywho, for a bit of background, Gina herself alleged that years ago, while experiencing homelessness in New York, she was picked up and brought into Diddy's circle. Then she claimed that she became a regular attendee at Diddy's now infamous parties and explicitly alleged that she may have contracted HIV directly within that camp, and she even pointed fingers toward Diddy himself. First of all, because her HIV went completely untreated for 8 years, she said that it advanced to AIDS, and she also said that weight dropped drastically to just 65 pounds, causing her to lose all muscle mass and her ability to walk.
A lot of you are asking if I have any muscles in my legs and how strong am I right now. Most of my strength is in my arms. You can see I can kind of do this a little bit with my legs, but still need to get them straightened out. That really hurts my toes. You get the picture?
In addition, Gina also described running headfirst into walls because she couldn't control herself, losing control of her bowels, and completely losing mobility in her legs within 2 weeks of getting to the hospital. And she also confirmed that she got half-blind in one eye as a direct result of the advanced illness. However, on a more positive note, Gina also said that she has improved significantly, moving up to 100 pounds, learning to stand and walk again with assistance, and she has been able to lower her viral load to the point of being undetectable. Well, the reason why she was going through this was because she caught whatever was being passed around at those freak-offs, because everyone was hooking up with everyone, and there was never any protection being used. Honestly, if we are talking about diseases being transmitted at the freak-offs, we have enough receipts to prove that this happened. Y'all remember when Diddy was indicted? Federal agents reported finding not only 1,000 bottles of baby oil, but also 3 AR-15s at Diddy's residences in Miami and Los Angeles. These items were reportedly part of a larger operation involving Diddy's freak-offs, where he allegedly hosted wild, fueled parties. The indictment actually detailed the use of these supplies in extravagant gatherings, including controlled substances, extra linens, and lighting. It also went on to detail how Diddy threatened and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. Number 2, we had Cassie saying in her lawsuit that she was always treating STDs to the point where medication no longer worked on her. She never said anything about HIV, but there have been allegations that another ex of Diddy, Young Miami, has been passing around the virus which she got from Diddy. Allegedly. JT was the one who first started pushing these allegations about Carisha, and she's the one who began hinting and spreading talk that Young Miami picked up the virus from someone, possibly Diddy, and is out here passing it along.
T's basically coming out and saying that Young Miami is sleeping around with different guys, giving them AIDS.
Damn.
You know, and Future, Stefan Diggs is one of the people that got thrown out there. You know, she was with Diddy.
Remember, sources from the facility where Diddy was being held allege previously leaked that he had been receiving HIV treatment since being processed, and that his frail appearance during court dates was possibly due to a shift in his medical routine rather than just trial stress. So yes, there were all sorts of infectious diseases being spread at those parties, and HIV was definitely among them. Now, when it comes to Kim Porter, we also know that she was forced to do things that put her at risk, like there was a lawsuit from April Lampros where she described an encounter that involved Kim Porter, alleging that she was at Diddy's apartment in Manhattan with Kim after they had returned from a nightclub, and Diddy told both of them to open their mouths and forced ecstasy down their throats. Then he forced them to hook up as he watched and got off from watching Kim and April. But it didn't stop there for Diddy, because after forcing the two ladies to hook up, April said that Diddy proceeded to force himself on her, and at this time, he was still with Kim. Child. There was also someone like Nicola Boof, who talked about how Diddy was sleeping with various women when he was with Kim, and even how Cassie let herself be flaunted in Kim's face and laughed at how Diddy was treating Kim in her own home. She even said that she will never forget the time Kim told her Diddy tried to make her lick Cassie's tampon. In addition, she talked about one time at 4 in the morning when Diddy brought Cassie, who was basically a teenager, into his bedroom where Kim was sleeping, and woke up Kim and told her to get out of the bed so Cassie can get in it. Again, all this was while he was still in a relationship with Kim. Then, to make matters worse, there have been allegations from alleged diaries belonging to Kim, which noted that as Diddy's fame continued to grow, he started using dark magic and rituals such as energy harvesting to maintain his fame and money.
Allegedly, Diddy was making Kim have intercourse at 9 months pregnant with groups of people for energy harvesting and to keep his fame and fortune going. In fact, there were other allegations that he ran a gangbang on his pregnant wife Kim with celebrities. I mean, this is just sad and honestly disgusting. Well, statistically, in environments where an individual is forced into encounters with multiple partners sequentially or simultaneously, such as a gangbang, the statistical likelihood that at least one person in the group is living with a high viral load of HIV or an active STI multiplies. Also, during the 3rd trimester of pregnancy, the cervix and vaginal walls experience a massive increase in blood flow, and the tissues are highly engorged, stretched, and fragile, making it quite easy for transmissions. So if there's any truth to these allegations, then it shouldn't surprise anyone that Kim may have been infected. And now when people look back, they are saying that they totally see why Kim died so quickly after such a short illness. See, when the official autopsy report came out, it confirmed the cause of death was lobar pneumonia, an infection that causes severe inflammation across an entire lobe of the lungs. However, what surprised people was how the timeline moved terrifyingly fast. Kim complained of nasal congestion, body aches, and a high fever of 102, was visited by a doctor who prescribed antibiotics and IV fluids, and within 72 hours, she was found unresponsive in her home. But here's the thing. For healthy adults under the age of 50, pneumonia is rarely a sudden fatal event. In fact, standard mortality rates for community-acquired pneumonia in non-elderly, non-immunocompromised adults receiving modern medical care are generally low, around 1 to 3% in outpatient settings. But the survival rate for severe respiratory infections drops dramatically when an individual is immunocompromised or battling an underlying condition, and when you look at Kim's final week, the speed of her decline was shocking for someone being monitored and had the best medical care. Kim was visited at home by a doctor who noticed she had a sore throat and a spiking 102-degree fever. She was actively given IV fluids, vitamins, antibiotics, and the heavy painkiller Toradol to manage the symptoms. Then, just 3 days after that medical visit, she was found completely unresponsive in her bed and pronounced dead at 11:40 a.m. The nightstand next to her bed was also reportedly filled with water bottles, sports drinks, Pedialyte, and tomato soup, all classic signs of someone trying to nurse a standard flu, but the speed at which the infection overwhelmed her respiratory system was just out of this world. So, because Kim had the financial means to have doctors making house calls and administering IVs right in her bedroom, people are saying that it only makes sense that her body's natural defenses were already completely compromised behind the scenes, and her immune system was running on a 0% battery. And that is exactly the kind of terrifying reality that Gina Tew is allegedly pointing to behind the scenes. According to insiders, she is basically confirming that there was a reason why Kim died so suddenly after a short illness, and it's because she was possibly already infected. As for why she would be talking about this right now, see, Gina isn't just surviving her health battle anymore. She is reportedly actively regaining her strength, and with that strength comes a voice that the industry is allegedly terrified of. And if word on the street is anything to go by, she's about to drop some never-before-heard tea on Kim Porter. Girl, given everything Gina has already been through, I am personally looking forward to what she has to spill. But let me know whether you also believe that the reason why Kim died so fast is because her immunity was already low from HIV given to her by, allegedly, Diddy in the comments section below.